Mobile's music scene, they have Bayfest, and there's some cover bands and whatever else. They're not around for Loda Fest, and they're not the Music Box and the Blind Mule and Soul Kitchen. And half of a lot of people's audiences are 18 to 20, and I've talked to a lot of them, and a lot of Underhills fans especially. It sucks because they can't come to shows, and it's not like they're trying to get in to drink and go crazy. They can drink at their house. It's not a big deal. When I was 18, I was going to shows, and it was awesome, and that's how you find out some of your favorite bands. Like, I came and saw Dignan when I was like 19, and I'm still go to all their shows whenever they come here. People are going to be deprived of that. Like, I met 3 17-year-olds today that came to Serta's, and they're like, "Hey, are you that girl that's in Underhill who went to Loda Fest? It was awesome." And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "I really want to come to one of your shows. We're turning 18 soon." Like, they said that. And I was like, "That's awesome." Well,
I think that my thoughts are right in line with everything that everyone else has been saying. It's just to be not catastrophic, but completely diminishing things that we've been working for years. We've been working for a chance to thrive and flourish with the art scene, the music scene, and you just can't if you put restrictions on it. The city council, they seem to flirt with the idea about doing it, but whenever you really watched them, you could tell that they didn't want to hinder business or any of the entertainment industry that they had actually worked to build in the first place.
At the rate we're going right now, I wouldn't be surprised if I see several shots from different angles of Kevin Bacon flying through the air after just raging out at a nice little one-man dance storm in an empty building somewhere. Is that vague, or is that people gonna get that reference?
I'm a local musician here in Mobile. This ordinance, it will seriously affect the livelihoods of not only the bar owners, but us musicians here as well. By not getting younger kids out to our shows, the 18 to 20-year-olds, that's going to seriously affect our profit when they do hit 21, because they're not accustomed to coming out and seeing original music. What gives the city a good reputation is having a good creative side to the whole city, be it visual art or musical art. And just banning the younger kids from being down here is going to affect us all in a very bad way. Nothing positive can come from it.
A music venue or a dance club is not just a bar. It's not even necessarily the chief reason that people go there, which is what it seems like maybe one particular city council member has not managed to get through his head, that people don't come to the Music Box just to hang out and drink. They come here to see the music. People don't go to Studio 54 just to drink. They go there to dance with their girlfriend or whatever. You should probably turn around and get a shot of this real quick. But the biggest point, and this was timed perfectly, the biggest point that I've had with this is obviously I have being a musician, I have personal interest vested in the fact that a large part of the demographic that will come to see any original band is between the ages of 18 and 20, because college kids love music. That's the way it's been forever. But the fact that there's an ethical issue under that if you're in the military and you are at 18 years old, capable of being sent to be blown up by landmines, if you are pulled over and have done something illegal, you will be tried as an adult. So it does not make sense for Mobilians from the ages of 18 to 20 to be given the opportunity to have the negative effects of a certain age group, but not be able to experience the positive effects of it, not to be able to go see a band they like or to be able to go dance with their girlfriend in a club. It doesn't make any sense. I feel like it's ethically bankrupt.
People under 21 have contributed much to downtown in creating a viable portion of our city to which everyone can use. I've been playing down here since I was 18 years old, and we've had, lots of other bands doing the same thing that have really come together and brought a lot of stuff to the city and brought a lot of culture to the city. And it all comes down to this. 19 years old in the state of Alabama, you are an adult. You cannot discriminate against an adult who pays taxes and votes. We are a voting, tax-paying portion of the community, and you cannot discriminate against us. We will not allow it.
And when it goes into effect, it's going to take this city back 5 years at least. I mean, we're not going to have the same turnouts for shows that we're seeing right now. We're not going to have any of the crowds. It's just not going to be the same. All of the bands that have made such ground in the past few years are just not going to have the turnouts. They're going to have to be going out of town. All of our touring bands aren't going to want to come because we're just not going to be able to pay them. Doing this fundraiser and everything so that we can pay our attorney to figure out a solution to the problem. And it's not just for the music box. The music box is putting it on, but we're trying to do this for the entire city. This isn't just downtown, this is affecting everyone.
But we're going to be kissing goodbye to business, progress, arts, fuck it. Anything that we want to do down here, you know, we've started getting headlining acts here in the music box and in Soul Kitchen and stuff. And when people come, like, there are young people here that want to see good bands that are going to be punished for not doing anything wrong. I mean, people are going to drink if they want to drink. People are going to, they're going to acquire it. It's going to happen. You're going to play, hey mister, you're going to talk to your older friends. Drinking is not the problem. Violence is a problem.
You know, I'm above 21, I'm 22, but I still have friends that are younger than me that want to go. And if I'm going out and they can't go, I'm not going to go out. And then whoever I'm with probably isn't going to go out either. So there's going to be this whole group of people that aren't going to go out even if they aren't 20 or younger. So that seems like something that could kind of ruin, mess up the scene.
When I first came to Mobile, I just turned 18, and a week later I went to my first show I'd ever been to in Mobile, and I'd hate for somebody to not have that opportunity. As William Carroll said, and I'm quoting right now, in the City Council meeting, or the Public Safety Committee meeting a couple of weeks ago, he said, when you allow underage people into a bar, you are telling them that it is okay to drink. And that is crap. We won't have successful shows anymore. Very few local bands will. The main problem that I have with it is that it doesn't address the issue that it says it addresses. If you have a bar that is serving underage people and not checking IDs at the bar, then what makes you think they're going to check IDs at the door to say that the kids can't come in the first place? Or if you have fake IDs getting passed, then the fake IDs are still getting passed. It doesn't address the issue. It doesn't fix anything. It's not going to solve anything. It's pointless, redundant legislation that is going to do more harm than good.
I think the new ordinance is really stupid. The responsibility lies in the people that are out here. There are good people and there are bad people. If people are going to do what they're going to do, these musicians need the support. You've got an age group of people have nothing else to do. Let's give them something to do. They can fight for their country, they can die, they can't smoke, they can't drink, they can't do anything else. So what? We're going to take their music away from them too now.
The legislation that they've put in place, the only thing that it serves to do is keep 18 to 21-year-olds out of music venues and bars, and the sole purpose being so that they don't drink. The funny thing is that we already have legislation in place for that. If we actually went about putting in regulations and upholding the legislation that was in place, it wouldn't be necessary to hurt music venues, to hurt local bands and the local music culture that exists here that depends on, you know, young people's support and, you know, the survival of our local economy and locally owned businesses. It's unnecessary to hurt all of these people in this way when all we could do is do what we said we were going to do in the first place.
Left unchecked, the way this is going to impact Mobile's music scene is that every other city in the nation, every other city in most of the progressive world, which apparently we live in a bubble exempt from the word progress, if this passes, it seems like a simple thing. Everybody's like, oh, well, that's good. There shouldn't be 21-year-olds in bars. I could not agree more. I don't need 18 to 19-year-olds to run around in here. 20-year-olds when we're not having a concert or it's a ticketed event. But how it's going to impact the music scene is the fact that you can attest to this. Anybody who knows the city, anybody who pays attention to progressive music and to anything in the city can attest that even before we opened this place, we were acting as promoters. We've been doing this way longer than we've been operating a bar. The bar is a means to an end because as a promoter in a city like this, where nobody supports anything really, you have to offset your losses. So after years of getting bigger shows and spending loads of money out of my own pocket, working hard to make it a possibility, I finally thought, hey, I'm gonna open a venue so that the alcohol sales can offset my losses. So if I eat $1,000 by bringing an act in that I know would make a promoter in a national market $2,000, I'm gonna lose $1,000. What better way to offset it than by owning the bar, the venue, the whatever you wanna call it, that's actually hosting the event. I've thrown countless shows at Soul Kitchen where I've lost money. I was the promoter for Cell Block. Just money lost on all fronts. Blind Mule, we're just a promoter there. Money lost on all fronts. Another point that somebody should point out is that Pure, the guy who owns Pure owned Atlantis. So the reason we're all in this trouble in the first place, the reason all this garbage is brought up, is because of one club owner acting terribly irresponsibly, the city allowing problems to overflow over and over and over. Now the guy who owns Pure, who also owned Atlantis, is touting the only live music venue in town that can be 18 and up because Pure has a kitchen. Nobody wants to talk about that. Why not? William Carroll's friends with the guy who owns Atlantis. Nobody wants to talk about that. If we had ever had one person shot outside a music box, you better believe we would have been shut down the next day. I don't mean shut down, I mean chains on the doors. This guy, you know, he's owning a club that's responsible for multiple shootings, multiple homicides, and then it took the last one, after public outcry, to shut him down. And the city didn't even shut him down, he shut himself down. So you want to talk about some very skewed alignment of propriety in this city? We're already a secondary market, which means that artists only come here if they can't get a play in a bigger market, or if they don't want to play in a bigger market because they're focused on, you know, the periphery of the major markets. New Orleans will always beat Mobile out on what acts we did. For a while, we were being competitive with New Orleans because we were showing the same kind of numbers that New Orleans was. You take away the 18 to 20-year-old college demographic, and you take away those competitive numbers, and they will never come here again. They're going to go to Pensacola. They're going to go to New Orleans even more. So all the years and years of everybody working, the years of touring bands going out and trying to build a good name for here will be flushed down the drain with 6 people voting yay on one ordinance that was so poorly researched that like the ignorance is stifling.
Kids should be able to go to shows because that's how I got into music, was going to shows before I was 21. If you don't get to go, it's like this.